being April the 19th, and it is 11:06. Right, this meeting called to order. I'd like to thank our stakeholders, our board members, and staff, and all our community involvement. Today's meeting should be a brief meeting. We're going to be going over the same committee meetings that we had last week. At this time, we want to go into our presentations to committee and turn the floor over to our CEO, Ms. Daisy Moscow.
Thank you, Chairman. Before our PIO communications manager, Ariel Johnson, delivers our communications update, there's a couple of items in the executive governance space that I wanted to share with you just briefly. We are delighted and excited that a date has now been set for the service expansion ribbon cutting in Garden City. That will be on June the 2nd. We are completing, and you may see the signs while you're in the building today. Training is an important cornerstone for all of CAT, and we have had a series of sexual harassment trainings ongoing this week. And we are also working with the United Way and Consumer Credit Counseling to for a planned financial literacy training for our staff, again, as a part of helping to build the capacity of our professionals here in how they manage personally as well. We are hard at work on budget development. Ms. Cutter and I and all the members of the staff, we're meeting regularly right now in presenting different budget components. And so that hard work of bringing forward a solid financial plan for you to consider soon is well underway. Of course, we want to one more time give a plug for the SMART grant announcement last week. For those of you who were able to either see some of the online media coverage or were here in attendance for the press conference, that was quite an event and is really a key part of CAT moving forward to its future, especially around microtransit services, electric vehicles and sustainability. And Director Stone, one of the things that I know that you have talked to us about, at least ever since I've been here, which is really figuring out that first mile, last mile, and how we complement all of our services with sort of the right service tool in the right locations. So that's going to be a real game changer for us. We are well underway with the review of all contracts, with a particular emphasis on any active contracts that were awarded before March of 2022, and expect to be bringing forward some recommendations individually and sort of collectively on contract management with you in the future. The board governance software that our chief of staff has been working on, we expect for that to be presented at the May meeting with a potential for a July 1 implementation. That was included in last week's snapshot. But Beverly has been, Ms. Dumas has been hard at work on that. And again, I know that that's another improvement that you look forward to in terms of board governance, communication, and management. We are still in process with the Greyhound lease negotiation. They have offered an alternative square foot amount over what we had originally proposed, and so we're continuing to go back and forth with that negotiation, and we'll keep you posted and hope to bring that to you within the next month or two for finalization. And then lastly, we know that there's been a lot of work ongoing with the master transit plan, but a key date coming up is Tuesday, May, I believe it's the 16th, is from 4 to 7, there will be at CAT Central an open house for all community elected officials and business leaders to be able to come in and ask questions and see what the suggestions are. I know as a board that you all have been seeing those in the various committees. We've been bringing that forward in component pieces, but you'll have an opportunity to gather together as an entire community, and we're going to allow 3 hours for that open house because we want to be sure that there's ample time for the community leadership, both, like I said, elected and business leaders, to come in and really offer their insights into that. Meanwhile, there's a ton of other community outreach, whether that's focus group, regular public meetings, neighborhood associations, community leadership groups, and so forth that are ongoing. The team with the master transit plans pushing it out on social media. It's also going out through the cities and county. So we're using all those available avenues for broadcasting its availability, as well as the CAT website and our normal CAT. Okay. First mile, last mile portions rolled in, correct? Yes. Well, you're going to see it all again here at CAT anyway, as a CAT board member. So, but no, there'll be recommendations around microtransit, and microtransit will be the approach that we'll be taking to that first mile, last mile implementation. But you're going to have several implementations going on related to that. One relates to the proposal that would reestablish service to the senior centers and senior residential areas. Then the ones that are outlined in the SMART grant, to microtransit zones on the west side that will connect to jobs, especially jobs that are developing in that part of the area, and also are areas that don't have regular CAT service. And then also, of course, down in this area with the connectivity to the tiny village for unhomed veterans. So we've got all of those different pieces of microtransit, either pilots or demonstrations that'll be going on, with the hope being that with the success of those and the learning that we'll have from all of those, that the next phase will be, especially with the SMART grant opportunity, we'll have phase 2, and that would afford us a funding opportunity to build out a microtransit system countywide, director, that really reaches all of those areas and builds our fixed route system as well.
Well, let me just say this. I was at a ribbon cutting earlier this week for a healthcare center called Encompass, which is out near Benedictine School. And the whole emphasis of this is that they're expanding because the need in Chatham County of, short-term rehab facility for people that may have had a stroke or injured themselves, broken hips or whatever, so that they can live independently. And the conversation of transportation keeps coming up. Everywhere I go now, it's like I hear more and more about, as a huge portion of Chatham County, Savannah's population is aging and people don't want to drive. Especially in the wintertime when it gets dark at 5:30, many people over the age of 65, 60, they don't want to drive at night. Mm-hmm. So the need is growing, and it's going to be a real challenge of how to connect. Chatham County geographically is large, and people don't just live within the city limits anymore. They're pushing out into the unincorporated areas. So I hope that when we do this strategic plan, we're really planning for moving people, getting people into the city that want to be in the city to enjoy the amenities, but they're reticent about driving because of two things: aging and parking. Parking is an honest-to-God nightmare downtown. So I'm really glad that we're moving forward with this, but I keep hearing more and more and more that we need more transportation. We need to be connecting the dots. So
I appreciate your comments on that, Director. There's no doubt about it that great communities have great transit systems, and great communities also have all kinds of ways for people to connect, to be able to enjoy and to participate in their communities. And transit is one of the tools in that toolkit. That master transit plan is affording us an opportunity, exactly as you just described, to really explain how we're going to do that over the coming decade or so. And we're also very fortunate here to have a good, close working relationship with the MPC and MPO, because there are other parts of the transportation system that transit needs to interact with or that also complement services. Improvements to pedestrian facilities, for example, and so forth. So I think that that big vision of all of Chatham County that comes through with MPC, MPO, as well as our component of that with the transit infrastructure is critical. And you're right, we're growing. And the opportunities around us are seemingly endless right now. So being able to get people to everywhere they need and want to go is important.
A huge segment of the population here is getting to a point where they don't want to drive.
So I appreciate everyone's comments, and with that, I'm gonna now turn it over to Ariel for the presentation on our communications update. One thing I will also note that we're gonna add, I don't know how many of you have had an opportunity to view one of our CAT casts yet. The first CAT cast was Chairman Ellis and the county manager. The second was Mayor Johnson and the city manager. And then the last one was our new chamber director and Joe Marinelli with Visit Savannah. We've got one coming up with Garden City. But we're just having these good community conversations around what transit means in the community and how we're all working together to achieve our a great community for all. So one of the things we want to do is to start reporting out the metrics on CATCast as well. So you'll start to see that in future reports. Ariel?
And our guests who are watching and our colleagues as well. Like Ms. Faye said, we're super excited about the CATCast and what it's starting for the company and getting more engagement. So yes, we will have those numbers in the next report. So starting off first with our CAT tracker. Since we started the CAT tracker back in September, we're seeing a steady growth in our CAT tracker. We're seeing a steady growth of people using it and it being a vital part of CAT as a whole to let people know when the bus is coming and how far out it is. It's a great communication tool, so it's steadily growing in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store of how many downloads we're getting. Our service alerts, ever since we started to expand our service alerts to more than just when a bus is late or a bus is, accident or a train, starting to expand it to the events we're having, starting to push out CATCast, starting to push out things of that nature. More people are looking, more people are learning what CAT is doing. So in March alone, we had 1,082 subscribers to RideCat. So we reached among the 1,000 mark, which is very good for us. So we're seeing that steady growth there as well. Social media, I have to personally thank St. Patrick's Day for our big jump in social media. A lot of people wanted to know what we were doing as a whole, what CAT was doing. So we saw some significant growth. Facebook still continues to lead our social media with more than 2,800 users, but in March we had 27 plus users, Twitter 4 plus, Instagram 14, LinkedIn 2, and YouTube 9. And we think the YouTube growth we're seeing steadily is from us, promoting our live streams of meetings and such of that sort, so people can see as well, whether they're on the bus, at home, they can look at their phone, they'll get the link through our service alerts to look at our meetings as well live when they're happening. Again, St. Patrick's Day really helped our social media numbers a lot. In February, we had a lot of belows, but now we're seeing a lot of aboves just in that 1 month. So we're actually really, really happy about that. We're just seeing more people, more of our impressions going to a larger basis as well. So that's a really good thing for the communications department. So our popular post in March was our Transit Driver Appreciation Day, where Marketing Communications partnered with the HR department to provide a lunch and just to have a sit down with our operators. And they all have different schedules, so they're kind of moving in and out, but everyone was able to eat. We also boxed lunches for people to come after the 6 p.m. to also have something to eat, and they really, really appreciated that. So we want to just make sure that we're doing more events like this to appreciate our operators, appreciate our admin staff, and just everybody feels appreciated as well. So this is one of our most engaging posts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all 3 platforms. Cat in the news. In the month of March, Chatham Area Transit was mentioned in 38 newscasts everywhere, from Statesboro newspaper, Savannah Morning News, and mainly it was about St. Patrick's Day service changes, modifications, what we were doing with that. We also got a lot of help this month with, our partner agencies like Chatham County, who allowed us to use 2 of their message boards to let people know about the service alerts or just anything at the ITC. The high volume, as I said earlier, is due to St. Patrick's Day coverage. We also had coverage on CAT's new maintenance facility, March service changes, and then the SMART grant press release from Senator Ossoff's office also came out in March as well. Just to recap here, the department participated in numerous outreach efforts for St. Patrick's Day. That includes social media, creating a new special service text alert systems for when we have special events or any type of parade or any event. People can sign up separately for that as well. We came up with a digital printed rider guide, and then the token transit ride passes. We also included in your board report a recap video of St. Patrick's Day parade. So if you guys want to scan this QR code that was connected to your board report, you can see our recap video as well. All right, and that's all for me. Do I have any questions or concerns or thoughts?
I really like the lunch and appreciation, and it's I think with drivers being in high demand right now and going other places and taking jobs where they could make more money, it's very important to let them know that they're servicing the citizens of Chatham County and how much they're appreciated, because there are people that this is their only means of transportation. So in a lot of ways, they are providing a life for somebody, their ability to get from point A to point B so that they can work, so that they can go grocery shopping. So it is extremely important that we let these people know, our employees know, how grateful we are for their service.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Director Stone. Director Edminster, did I hear you say anything? I'm sorry.
No, that was Director Leggett.
My apologies.
No, I was actually just giving you guys kudos, and I appreciate what all you've been doing, especially on the different platforms that we're using. It's really not going unnoticed, especially from our seniors and the young people that are helping our seniors with the different with the CAP models that we're using, especially with the we spoke about it at the city because a lot of people didn't know about the app, so we had to actually inform a lot of people that the app is working. And I do have the app on my phone, and I get all the notifications, especially the ones that are close around my district. So kudos to you guys, even though, you tried to take us out for St. Patrick's Day. We were a little louder, but, it was fun that we were out as a unit and everybody saw that, Cat was there and we were doing a lot and we were in the public. So kudos to you and your team for everything that you've been doing. And I just look forward to some more good programming. And the only way for us to get better is just to try. So I thank you guys for trying to do something different and think outside the box and try to expand what we want to do across the entire region.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We had fun at St. Patrick's Day with the city of Savannah. And I also want to give a shout out to Madison Williams, who is the marketing and communications manager. He is a great partner in this department. And so we work very well together to make sure that CAT's image is being rebranded in the right direction. So thank you all.
also want to say that our team is doing a great job. Thank you. I also want to say thank you for that, Ariel. Our team is doing a great job off the bottom. We have a lot of internal employees that got getting the recognition, and they're behind the scenes pushing every day. And we'd like to thank them all, Ariel, Ms. Adams, and our Beverly, and definitely our CEO, Madison. We got our CFO that's doing a phenomenal job with our budget, and we got Dr. Magnin that's doing an excellent job on his half, and everything is coming together quite well. Improvements that we've made within the last year is amazing. I like to see that social media, we now pick it up, so like we got plus signs all the way down the board on improvements for that. Helping community involvement, of course, our staff, everybody coming together. At this time, do we have any more questions or comments? No? All right, at this time, we would like to, I thank everybody for attending today's meeting, and we'd like to adjourn this meeting at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Chairman, let's sit here and finish this. I feel horrible that I am probably the tardy one in the bunch.
No,